We are live with another guitar practice. We're doing acoustic strum on American Girl. Just did electric guitar. Felt good about it. John and I kind of went over some things with this part. Had a couple questions about it. So anyway, he and I wrapped that up, and I was like, shoot, I'll just shoot this a minute while I'm here. And I got the lights and cameras all set up. So we got D5 in the beginning of the song. And really what you're trying to get is that nice kind of drone on that D string. You know, and you can see my third finger's kind of muting that first, so if I accidentally do hit that, same thing with my thumb. If I accidentally do strum it a little bit bigger than those three strings, you're gonna get a muted sound anyway. So we got 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and All right, let's do that strum pattern on a mute. So you got your D5 chord, we're good there. This is down, up, down, 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. Now let's see if I go down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. It's like the syncopation here is going to be a little tricky for me, and that's going to be a good thing for like somebody who's working on 16th note strums and some syncopation, because there's a little bit of changes in all these measures that will throw us off a little bit. All right, let's start this on a mute and just get the idea of that rhythm at 56. Full speed is 115. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and. And 4 and 1 E and 2 and. So things I'm thinking about. One, I have to count it quite a few times, right, to get that into my head, especially just because it's da 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 da. Well, then as soon as I'm getting comfortable with that, I don't have to count as much. Then I'm thinking about like really making all those strums sound the same. No accents, no extra notes. So let's see. Is the next pattern down, up, up, down? Okay, it's a little bit different. So let's kind of hit all these different patterns at 56, and then we'll start putting groups together. Because it pretty much repeats that in the intro until first half of the intro, I should say. Second half of the intro, it starts doing a little bit of chord movement. So this one is 1 E and E and E and. So I gotta count that. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. So we're just skipping the 2 and the 3 downbeats, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. As soon as you hear it, you can put that in. Now I'm gonna still struggle with metronome because it's just something I need to work a lot on in my own practice. 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and. And 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 4 and rushing it quite a bit. 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. So you can kind of hear that it sounds like I'm going back and forth a little bit because I am with my timing. just rushing those 16th notes, and I'm getting really close to that click of the 2 or the 3. 1 E and E and 4 and E and. All right, let's do a couple more. Just kind of watch those things. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2. So then we have a measure of repeat. Let's see what changes here. So this strum pattern is down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. Small changes, just those small little changes. Now, what I always recommend to somebody is learn this. Learn what's actually going on, and then if you're playing in a band, deviate. You know, you don't have to play this down strum there. It's not the most important thing. It's the idea of the song more than, hey, every up strum and whatnot. Now in these videos, I try to do it as much as possible because I'll do tracking videos after this where, like, you know, somebody's following along and you want that to be right and good. All right, let's do that on a mute. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. Now this is a little bit easier for me because I got those down strums. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and. Cool. I often say it's like we're not learning the song, we're learning how to do strum patterns, we're learning how to do these 16th notes. Then we're lucky enough to be able to apply it to the song. So 1 E and E and E and. So we've seen this measure before, but let's just hit it. 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. So if I'm being as picky as I often am, you know, I should try to like limit my strum and not hit that string, because otherwise John would have wrote that with a mute in there on that first string. So like, I'm getting a little crazy with my strum. All right, is it 4 measures? And that's a little bit more than 4. So why don't we do at 6? Yeah. Let's just do 3 and 3 then. Try to get these ideas. Nah, we can do all 6. All right, let's run through it without metronome, and then we'll try to put it together at 56. Full speed 115. So we got 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3. Repeat that one. Next measure. So a lot of it's just going to be like, hey, my sight reading will probably fall apart 5 or 6 times in because I just lose focus. So we'll tackle this big of a chunk knowing that, like, I'm going to have to come in fresh later and be like, I don't know. I know I'm going to put an extra strum in here and there, so because, yeah, there's a lot of little changes throughout. So we'll start with mutes. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. 1 E and let's measure repeat there. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and. See? 4 and 1 E and 2 E and. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. And I forgot about the measure repeat. So just need to focus. I feel like I can actually play it a little faster, even though I didn't sight read that well. Let's try 60. Just got to pay attention the whole time. And remember that we got some measures of repeat. And 3 and 4 and 1. All right. Jump in a sec. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. But add an extra strum. So again, trying to rein in my not strumming all the strings. Just need to pay attention to all those things and pick your battles. You know, right now it's like get the part down, be able to play it, not screwing up on these little just changes in pattern, which is just good. Like this is good exercise. This is a strum exercise as much as it's the song. All right, faster. 1 and a 2 and a 3. And 4 and 1 and. So missing those small little details, and that's okay. Like I get in the zone, and then I'm like, shit, that's an up strum. This one's a down strum. But I feel like we can keep on pushing the tempo. And the song has enough of a variation of like this throughout. You know, sometimes more up strums. Missing that downbeat a lot. Verse is gonna be really easy to play. Just looking ahead, like, yeah, let's spend some time on just getting comfortable with this, maybe getting a little bit faster. See how far we can push this. Because it's not sloppy yet. You know, like 72, I'm able to play, or I will be hopefully able to play that. So Kind of just push it till it starts getting sloppy, and then move on. And 3 and 4 and 1. 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and 1 E and a 2 E and. So, something I need to work on. I like to call my stuff out because A, I know it's there, and I'm like, shit. I'm fine reading in the comments too. Those accents I'm putting in, I gotta take them away. It's gotta sound all the same. There's no accents written in this part. 1 and a 2. And then I made a mistake. Just removing the metronome made it easier for me to hear, like, oh, okay, that's the flow. Don't worry about, rushing or anything. Don't worry about playing in time. Just make sure that you're not doing accents. Make sure this strum is steady. 1 and a 2 and. Some of those accents are going to happen too when I read the music and I go, crap, like that measure. I'll put my mouse over top of it. That down, up, down, up. Like that down scares me. Like I don't expect it to be there. All right, let's do 76. Let's keep pushing this tempo until we fall apart. And 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Mutes. And a 2 and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2. One, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1 E and a 2 E and my sight reading is falling apart. 1. Trying to maintain it and trying to recover every time, and then I didn't. All right, let's do 82, and then we'll kind of look at the next section because I kind of feel like my brain is getting to the place where I'm like, all right, you've done this quite a bit now. Let's probably move on. Which, if I don't move on, then it causes me to start checking out, and then I just make a bunch of mistakes. 2 and 1, you can hear I'm struggling to see that on that up strum. I say C, but more here. I'm just not hearing it at that tempo. Like 3, 4, 1 and a 2. 4, I'm going to quit playing it sloppy because that's what I'm doing right now at 82. We're going to slow it back down because you heard me start to put accents in and just play like crap. And, no one to call it. Sometimes I can persevere and shift it and be like, all right, I can settle in. I just didn't feel like that was going to happen. So you're better off reaffirming at 74, slower tempo, play it right a couple times, then move to your next section. The 2 E N, 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E N. See if I can play it at all. 3 E N, 4 and 1 E and a 2 E N. Fall completely apart. Now I'm going to try to recover because I would like to end on a better note than what I just did there. 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and. So we're going to move on. But I started out I felt feeling confident. I'm hearing this well. I'm playing it well. I started scanning so far ahead that I didn't remember how to play the last beat of that measure. All right, let's see what else is going on. So this is the first half of the intro. The second half of the intro, we have some chord movement. We're going D, E, G, A. We're going to start slower than 74 just so I can really think about stuff. Is this the same as down, up, down? Up, down, down. Okay, so it's that. Is it that every time? Up, down, up, down. Yeah, looks that way. Okay, so that should be pretty easy. But let's still just give myself a little bit of a mental break. Do 60. So, down, 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a. Okay, so we're using a D now instead of that D, D5. So I'm not hearing that. The other thing that I'm paying attention to, and I'm going to have to fix this, and you're going to hear it bad for a while, is when I switch from D, that's an exaggeration, but it feels like that when I actually hear it. Down, up, down, 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 up, down. So it's not leaving too early, which I have a habit on everything I do rhythmically like that. I always want to get there early. Scared that I'm not going to make it. Let's hear 60. So I want slower than that. Because I really, again, don't want to have to think too much. Let's try 56. We're going to hit these 4 chords. Nice and slow. We'll do mutes first. When we bring it to the chords, we're going to do our best not to get those open notes too much, but if they happen, they happen. Resolve them as they go. 3, 4, 1. Oh. I don't think this is on the right beat. Don't know what that was, but let's do this. Started clicking in faster than I want to play. See if this time it turns around and does the right tempo. 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. The nice thing is, you know, working on something different, doing some chord moves like this, gives me a little bit more time to focus. Like it just changes it up enough that I can like actually pay attention. But we're continuing, even going slower, to reaffirm that strum pattern. So like really get some time with this. So when we go back to that other part, you know, it's gonna be easier to sight read. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a. Really give that click the space that it wants. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a Dude, I much prefer playing it slow like that and really plotting it out. It allows you to hear where you're going to make mistakes. You know, like where do you have to be concerned with and stuff. It just makes it easy. All right, just go up a little bit. Push this tempo as fast as we can. We'll stop before we get sloppy. Like if it's starting to get there, we're just going to stop and call it a good practice because we're already like 28 minutes in. And I did an hour of guitar before this, so I feel like, you know, that's really weird. I did it again. 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and 1 E and a 2 E. Could be a little bit tighter on the rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E. Sometimes those 16th notes are getting a little sloppy on me. I'm holding them a little bit too long, or vice versa. So, 68. One E and a two. One E and a two E and three E and four and a one. So you hear, whenever I get loose, I go back to just mutes. Right now, we're just at pushing that tempo up. 276. Hope you guys are having a good 4th. Hope you're hanging out. Somebody asked me if I wanted to hang out, and I was like, actually, I'd rather record. I'd rather spend all day playing. So that's what I'm doing. Maybe later some brats, some beers, but right now, it's good practicing. 3 and a 4 and 1 and a... And a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 4 and a 1 and a 2. When I can get to that point where, and I'm not there all the time, I'm not there at tempos, but when I get to that point where I can just hear that without counting, I can get that groove going and actually have feeling to it. And this is why you practice with metronome. This is why I'm okay like just pushing myself, and like the more I do this, the better my playing gets. 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a really easy for me to rush that. One, 2, 3, 4. See that the metronome, what? I wasn't following the metronome. I started falling behind and got this shaky little feeling to it. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and 3. 1 E and a. do 82. Call it good then. Let's see. Oh, we got the other one up to 74. So good. Yeah, 82, 74. Again, like, I know this has been like, what, 35 minutes? We now have most of the song figured out, right? There's a couple changes. The verse is easier. This idea gets repeated a lot. So as long as you get started with the idea, you're like, we'll come back in one other session. And 82 to 115 is not that much of a timing difference. Sounds like it is, but they're close enough where it's like, all right, you learn the idea. Oh, that's what I've been doing. Money end it. Money end it. Thought I had it. 1, 2, 3, 4. To E-N, 3 E-N, 4, and a 1 E-N, Think about it as we speed up. My window of getting those two up strums and that click right in between them is just closing, and I'm not hitting it all the time. I'm not hitting the mark. All right, couple more. So that is kind of everywhere rhythmically, and I'm not too happy with that. Just really slaughtering those off beats. So let's slow it back down, 74. Then I'll have a tempo marking for when I come back to this later, either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see if I get another session in tonight. I'd like to get a drum one in. I'd like to work on some of my own songs today as well. This is kind of like a really, especially doing these live, it's like a really good warm-up. When I go and then track by myself with just my headphones on for my band, not knowing that nobody's watching me, I don't know. This is a heightened sense of awareness and pushing your nervous system. There's actually scientific studies that if you're playing in front of people, and you guys count as people, most of you guys count as people, but if you're playing live in front of people, it changes the chemistry in your brain. You have to find the study. Maybe I'm a liar, but I feel like this is akin to that. It actually, helps with nerves, helps with that red light disease, I think they call it. When all of a sudden you press record on your DAW, you freeze a little bit. I don't think it's called fatigue. Red light syndrome, something like that. There's two things I need to Google later. All right, let's try to get a couple good ones. Oops. Definitely hit the wrong button. Let's try to get a couple good ones and then call it tonight. Call it a good practice. But slower tempo, obviously, to try to play it in time. One E-N, E-N. You guys didn't hear that. copy again. One E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Sometimes I am getting lazy on that dotted quarter note, dotted eighth note, and my 16th notes are getting pushed a little bit here or there. So just something I really need to watch. One trick that I do is when I start counting out loud, it really pushes me back into time. You know, I have to fit in 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and 4 and a 1 E. But all things to work on, and the more I do metronome, the more my playing without metronome gets better and better, which is just obvious to say, but it's so good that somebody needs to keep on pushing everyone for that. Oftentimes I try to get my students to play with metronome, and they're begrudging, and I'm like, bros, if you guys would just submit to the fact that this will make you a better musician, and you're kind of, I wouldn't say wasting your time, but like, I don't know, there's a development that has to happen, and metronome's going to help push you there. All right, guys, that's it for acoustic guitar for right now. Like I said, might come back later. Definitely going to do drums in a couple hours, so if you guys want to check that out, we're going to work on American Girl some more. I've had too much caffeine, but I'm going to try to chill for a little bit, and then, yeah, I will talk to you guys all soon, and thanks for checking us out. And if you want to support the channel, become a member at our website, musicbythemeasurespro.com. There's free memberships. Now, that doesn't really give us much, but it gives us ability to get you guys a newsletter, send that information out to you. But there's paid subscriptions as well that helps us kind of, I don't know, afford to make more content like this and keep the wheels moving on this bus. All right, I'll talk to you.